Have you ever truly questioned the image of Baphomet that's been presented to you, with its goat head, demonic wings, and inverted pentagram, or have you simply accepted the common narrative that it represents evil incarnate? This symbol, often depicted as a grotesque demon, has been intentionally misrepresented, obscuring its true meaning. A profound representation of cosmic balance, inner potential, and the union of all opposing forces. This is not simply an obscure symbol from the past, it's a key to understanding how spiritual knowledge has been manipulated and distorted, keeping the masses in a state of fear and limiting the expansion of human consciousness. The conventional demonization of Baphomet was a carefully orchestrated tactic, a deliberate distortion of ancient esoteric wisdom, specifically designed to suppress individual spiritual power and maintain a pervasive system of control over the populace. History shows us, with examples such as the orchestrated accusations against the Knights Templar and their alleged worship of this image, the lengths that those in power will go to demonize symbols that threaten their dominance. These are not isolated historical anomalies. These carefully structured belief systems continue to limit spiritual understanding to this very day. Understanding the true nature of Baphomet transcends the mere examination of an esoteric symbol. It's a pathway to reclaiming your own inherent power and fostering personal spiritual growth. Symbols have a profound effect on the human psyche, especially when they are presented with negative or fear-based associations, and by understanding how Baphomet has been manipulated, we can understand how such belief systems are maintained. The distorted image of Baphomet is a carefully constructed tool to keep individuals in fear and ignorance, perpetuating a cycle of spiritual limitation. The impact of this misinformation is pervasive. It keeps individuals feeling powerless, disconnected from their true potential, and easily controlled by forces that benefit from that state of affairs. The institutions and systems that currently hold sway often promote fear-based narratives that discourage self-exploration and independent thinking, maintaining the illusion that we are separate and helpless. Unveiling the true meaning of Baphomet offers a powerful key, not just to intellectual understanding, but to a practical path of self-mastery and spiritual awakening, helping you to break free from these imposed limitations. The most important theme of this journey is that true empowerment comes from understanding hidden knowledge, internalizing this information, and actively using it to reshape your daily experience, creating a tangible shift in your own life. The goal is to give you the tools to understand these principles for yourself and to see how you can take control of your own narrative of transformation. At its core, Baphomet embodies the fundamental concept of duality, reflecting the union of opposing forces like masculine and feminine, light and dark, good and evil, and matter and spirit, not as separate entities, but as interconnected aspects of a unified whole. Baphomet's symbolism, with components like the goat head, caduceus, torch, and pentagram, is rich with layers of esoteric meaning, each one representing a deep principle and truth about our reality. This is not simply a random collection of images, but a sophisticated system of understanding and exploring the intricacies of the human experience. The knowledge we will be exploring today is rooted in historical context, which will clarify why these symbols were manipulated, esoteric symbolism, which will unlock their true meaning, and practical methods, which will teach you how to integrate Baphomet's energy into your own life. Each symbol associated with Baphomet is a gateway to a deeper understanding of reality, and we will begin by exploring the commonly accepted interpretations, then dismantle them to reveal the hidden, esoteric truths that lie beneath the surface. This deconstruction is an essential first step towards reclaiming your personal power and spiritual sovereignty, allowing you to see the real message that has been obscured by time. Are you prepared to discover a reality where Baphomet is not a symbol of evil, but a powerful archetype for self-mastery and inner transformation? The negative portrayal of Baphomet is not an accidental misinterpretation. It's part of a larger, intentional effort to obscure the true potential of humanity and keep you from your own inherent divinity. This is a calculated manipulation that continues to suppress the true nature of consciousness itself. As we delve deeper, we will uncover a hidden history and a power dynamic that has shaped our understanding of the world for centuries. The exploration of Baphomet will reveal that its symbolism aligns with principles of alchemy, sacred geometry, and the tree of life, which when combined, create a system of knowledge that has been kept from us all. By the end of our journey together, you will be presented with practical exercises and techniques to integrate Baphomet's energy into your own life, unlocking your internal potential and giving you the opportunity to create a tangible transformation for yourself. The deliberate distortion of Baphomet's true nature did not emerge in a vacuum. Its roots are deeply embedded in the political and religious power struggles of the past. The accusations against the Knights Templar, specifically their alleged worship of Baphomet, serve as a stark example of how symbols and beliefs can be manipulated to serve a particular agenda. The Templars, a powerful and wealthy military order, became a target of both King Philip IV of France and the Catholic Church, who were both heavily indebted to them and also threatened by their growing power. In 1307, on a Friday the 13th, a date now associated with misfortune due to these historical events, the king, with the tacit approval of the Pope, ordered the arrest of all Templars in France. These arrests were not based on solid evidence of heresy, but were a calculated move to seize the Templars' wealth and eliminate a force that rivaled the power of both the crown and the church. The charges levied against the Templars were a mix of the absurd and the blasphemous, including accusations of spitting on the cross, denying Christ, and engaging in homosexual practices. However, at the center of their alleged heresies was the accusation of worshipping a mysterious idol called Baphomet. The Templars were tortured into confessing these charges, and their confessions, obtained through brutal methods, were then presented as proof of their heresy. This pattern, where accusations of heresy were used as a tool for political and economic gain, is not exclusive to the Templars and has been repeated throughout history as a means of social control. The story of the Templars and Baphomet reveals a darker truth, that when those in power are threatened, they often resort to manipulating symbols and beliefs to maintain their dominance by creating fear and division. The historical manipulation of Baphomet serves as a lesson in how belief systems are constructed, maintained, and exploited. The Catholic Church's role in the demonization of Baphomet was not simply a reaction to the Templars' alleged practices, but a calculated move to consolidate its own power and suppress any alternative belief system that challenged its authority. The Church, at that time, held both spiritual and political power, and any deviation from its dogmas was considered a direct threat. Pagan symbols and traditions, especially those connected to nature and esoteric knowledge, were deliberately misinterpreted and demonized. The goat, a symbol of virility, untamed nature, and fertility in many ancient traditions, was transformed into an image of the devil, associating it with sin and evil as an example. This was not an isolated incident. Many figures and symbols throughout history have been similarly demonized, and this tactic served multiple purposes, creating fear of those outside the Church's control, reinforcing the need for Church intervention, and discrediting alternative spiritual paths. Think of the way that feminine deities were transformed into witches and demons, or how the figure of Lucifer, once seen as a bringer of light and knowledge, was recast as the ultimate symbol of evil. These distortions of ancient symbols were, and continue to be, used as a way of controlling the populace through fear. By maintaining an environment of fear and ignorance, the Church was able to strengthen its position as the sole authority on matters of faith and morality, eliminating any challenge to its dominion. This was not a matter of spiritual righteousness, but a calculated exercise in control. The distortion of Baphomet is merely one example of this pattern, it serves to highlight a larger truth: that spiritual knowledge and authentic expression are often suppressed when they threaten established power structures, and this pattern continues to repeat itself to this very day. The accusations against the Knights Templar and the subsequent demonization of Baphomet lacked any credible evidence, relying instead on distortions, forced confessions, and the manipulation of public perception. The confessions extracted during the torture of the Templars were inconsistent and often contradictory, revealing that they were not based on any actual practices. For example, many Templars confessed to worshipping a head, sometimes described as a goat, sometimes as a human, or even a cat or a demon, and this inconsistency makes it clear that these confessions were not a sincere reflection of reality, but rather the result of torture and coercion. The Church also used other means, such as propaganda and misinformation, to spread the idea that the Templars were heretics who had turned to the dark side, and by creating a narrative of fear, the Church was able to mobilize the public against the Templars and solidify its own authority. This carefully orchestrated misinformation campaign was designed to create a climate of fear and paranoia that would justify the actions against the Templars and silence any voices of dissent. The demonization of Baphomet was not an accident, but a deliberate distortion of an ancient esoteric symbol. By misrepresenting the Templars' beliefs, the Church was able to not only eliminate a powerful rival, but also to reinforce its own control. The truth is that the image of Baphomet that has come down to us is not a reflection of reality, but a product of deliberate manipulation and fear-based propaganda, and this carefully constructed distortion was designed to keep you in a state of spiritual subservience. So, if the common perception of Baphomet is based on lies and misinformation, what is its true meaning? The goat head, the most striking feature of Baphomet, is not, as it is often portrayed, a symbol of evil, but a profound alchemical representation of the union of opposing forces. In many ancient pagan traditions, the goat was not associated with wickedness, but with the natural world, fertility, and virility. The Greek god Pan, for example, is depicted with goat legs and horns and represents the wild, untamed forces of nature. These forces, which were often seen as a threat to the established order, were then demonized as the forces of chaos. The duality of the goat is also significant. The goat can represent both the wild, untamed aspects of the natural world and the virility and creative energy required to bring new life into the world. The goat is an emblem of both the earthly and spiritual realms, adept at navigating both the material and the intangible. These qualities make the goat an apt symbol for transformation and the alchemical process that requires both grounding in the physical and a spiritual aspiration towards the divine. This inherent duality is not a sign of evil, but rather a reflection of the very fabric of reality itself. The goat, therefore, in its totality, embodies the principles of duality and not the demonic interpretation that has become so commonplace. It is a potent symbol of the natural forces that both create and destroy, and the wisdom that understands and accepts both. The goat's presence on Baphomet is an invitation, not to fear, but to explore these forces within yourself. The image of Baphomet urges us to understand that duality is not a struggle, but a dance, and that the goal is not to eliminate one side, but to integrate and balance both, so that true spiritual power can be realized. The caduceus, the staff with two snakes intertwining around it, often seen in Baphomet's depiction, is an ancient symbol that represents the balance of male and female energy, as well as the transmutation of lower energies into higher ones. This symbol is not limited to Western traditions. It is also present in many cultures around the world, indicating a universal understanding of the importance of balanced energy flow. In the yogic tradition, the caduceus is directly related to the Kundalini energy, a powerful force that lies dormant at the base of the spine, and when activated, rises through the energy centers of the body, known as the chakras. The awakening of Kundalini is often described as a powerful, transformative experience that leads to spiritual enlightenment. This is mirrored in the caduceus, which is not simply an image, but a map of the pathways through which energy flows within the body. The two serpents represent the Ida and Pingala nadis, the main energy channels that spiral around the central channel, known as the Sushumna, mirroring the spine. The central staff then becomes the representation of the spine and the energy that must be activated and balanced to achieve enlightenment. The caduceus is not merely a representation of balance, but a practical tool that demonstrates how to achieve it, and its presence on Baphomet is a direct call to action to achieve this balance, and by extension, self-mastery. Baphomet, therefore, becomes more than an image. It becomes a practical guide that illuminates the energetic principles that underpin the journey to self-mastery. The caduceus emphasizes the importance of balancing internal energy currents as a key to spiritual growth, inviting us to look within and find the harmony necessary for genuine transformation, and to become the alchemist of your own internal experience. The torch held by Baphomet is another powerful symbol. It does not represent the fires of hell, but rather the flame of enlightenment and the pursuit of knowledge. The torch is a call to seek truth and understanding, to illuminate the darkness of ignorance, and to walk the path of wisdom. In many cultures, fire is associated with purification, transformation, and spiritual awakening. These qualities are not meant to be feared, but instead, they are to be embraced as tools of self-discovery. The torch is a symbol of knowledge itself, the light that dispels shadows and reveals the hidden truths, and it also serves as a reminder of the power that knowledge brings to those who actively pursue it. This symbol is deeply connected to the concept of Lucifer, the light-bringer, a figure that was originally associated with the morning star, representing enlightenment and wisdom, and how the church demonized that figure, turning him into a symbol of evil and rebellion, just like the image of Baphomet. The torch represents the courage to challenge dogma and seek personal truth. These figures, Lucifer and Baphomet, are used by those in power to create a system of control that benefits from keeping the truth hidden. The torch symbolizes the power that comes from truth and understanding, not as an abstract concept, but as a force for liberation. It is a challenge to question, to learn, and to never stop seeking. The torch is an invitation to awaken, to step out of the darkness of ignorance, and to embrace the light of wisdom, not as something given from an external source, but as the power to create one's own path. The inverted pentagram, often associated with evil and Satanism, is in fact a symbol of the descent of spirit into matter. The 5 points of the pentagram represent the 5 elements: earth, water, air, fire, and spirit, and when inverted, it symbolizes the grounding of spiritual energies into the physical world. This is not a sign of perversion or evil, but rather a natural process that is required for creation. Humanity, as a microcosm of the universe, embodies the 5 elements, and the inverted pentagram reflects the human journey of embodying spirit through matter. Think of the tree of life, a powerful symbol in Kabbalah. The tree of life illustrates the path of the soul's journey, starting with the divine and descending into the material realm, eventually ascending back into the divine. The inverted pentagram represents that very same process, the movement of consciousness from the higher realms into the physical, and the necessary embodiment of spirit in form. The pentagram, both inverted and upright, is not inherently good or evil. They are simply representations of different energetic principles, and like the symbols explored previously, the inversion of the pentagram is not an indication of negative forces, but rather a necessary descent of spirit into form, which is a crucial step on the path to enlightenment. It is a reminder that the material world is not separate from the spiritual, and that true transformation requires an embrace of both. The common misunderstanding of the inverted pentagram is yet another example of how symbols can be distorted for control, but by understanding its true meaning, you reclaim yet another piece of your power. These are not separate symbols, they are interwoven parts of a larger system that, when understood, reveals the path to self-mastery. The concept of duality is not merely an intellectual exercise, it is the fundamental principle that underlies the entire universe. Baphomet, as a symbol, perfectly encapsulates this concept. Everything that exists is composed of opposing forces. Light cannot exist without darkness, good cannot exist without evil, and masculine cannot exist without feminine. These are not conflicting forces, but rather two aspects of a single, unified whole, and like the polarities of a magnet, these opposing energies are necessary for creating motion and life. Consider the concept of yin and yang in Taoism, the opposing forces that create the balance of the universe, or the interplay between day and night. These are not battles, but a continuous dance, where each side depends on the other for its very existence, and this dynamic of dualism is not just limited to the external world. It's also a core component of our internal experience. Our minds, emotions, and even our physical bodies are all governed by the interplay of these opposing forces. Understanding this duality is the first step toward achieving personal harmony and empowerment. It is a journey towards balance. And by accepting that we are not meant to choose one side or the other, we move towards wholeness. Just as Baphomet unites opposing forces, we too can integrate the opposing aspects of our being. This is not merely a matter of intellectual understanding, but a path to authentic self-mastery. It is understanding that the dance between these polarities is the very essence of life. Baphomet, as an alchemical symbol, represents the profound process of spiritual transmutation and transformation. Alchemy, at its core, is not merely about transmuting lead into gold, but represents the inner work of transforming our own lower nature into a higher, more refined state of being. Baphomet, in its totality, embodies this process, with its various symbols representing the different stages of alchemical transformation. The goat's head embodies the base nature that must be understood and accepted. The caduceus represents the energy that must be channeled and balanced. The torch symbolizes the wisdom that must be sought, and the pentagram symbolizes the ultimate goal of integration. Just as the alchemist works in their laboratory, using heat, fire, and various other alchemical processes to refine matter, we must also work within our inner laboratory to purify our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs. The alchemical process is not merely a metaphor, it's a practical path toward liberation and self-realization. When you confront your shadows, transmute your fears, and harness your will, you are becoming the alchemist of your own soul. This transformation does not happen by denying your lower nature, but by acknowledging its presence, understanding its purpose, and working to integrate it with your higher aspirations. The alchemical journey is about turning our own inner lead into gold, the challenges of our lives into opportunities for growth, and our limitations into sources of strength. And Baphomet, as a symbol, is the perfect guide on this path of inner transformation. The tree of life, a central symbol in Kabbalah, is deeply connected to the symbolism of Baphomet. The tree, with its 10 sephirot, or spheres, represents the different emanations of divine energy and the path of the soul's journey back to its source. Each sephira represents a different aspect of divine wisdom, and the integration of these energies is the key to spiritual enlightenment. Baphomet's symbolism aligns perfectly with the tree of life. The goat head represents the lower aspects of the tree, rooted in the material world, while the torch symbolizes the higher aspects, representing knowledge and spiritual aspiration. The caduceus, with its intertwined snakes, represents the energetic channels that connect the various sephirot of the tree, and the pentagram symbolizes the embodiment of spirit in matter, the union of the microcosm and the macrocosm. Baphomet, like the tree of life, is a map of consciousness and the integration of its dualities. By understanding this connection, we begin to unlock the secrets to spiritual transformation. The tree of life and Baphomet are both powerful tools for understanding the nature of reality and our place within it. and together they provide a comprehensive framework for spiritual growth. The integration of these systems of knowledge is not merely an intellectual exercise, but a direct path to personal transformation and spiritual empowerment, showing how the ancient understanding of the tree is visually represented in the image of Baphomet. The tree and Baphomet both teach that true power lies in the integration of all aspects of our being and a movement towards a higher state of consciousness. The principles embodied by Baphomet are not merely abstract concepts. They can be actively integrated into your daily life through self-reflection and practical exercises designed to activate your inner potential. We begin with the process of inner reflection, specifically focusing on your internal dualities, the seemingly opposing forces that exist within you. The first step is to become aware of these internal conflicts by taking time for self-examination. You must question your beliefs, biases, and habitual reactions, and by becoming aware of your internal conflicts, you illuminate the shadows that are preventing you from moving forward. The goal is not to eliminate them, but rather to understand their purpose and integrate their energy. Shadow integration, a process deeply rooted in Jungian psychology, involves identifying the parts of ourselves that we have disowned or repressed. These aspects, often containing our deepest fears and insecurities, hold vital energy that must be reclaimed, and they cannot be overcome until they are understood. These aspects often represent the other half of your polarized nature, the part that you have rejected because it does not fit into your self-perception. The act of integrating your shadow is not an exercise in negativity, but rather an act of courage that allows you to see yourself as a whole, and by reclaiming your shadows, you become more powerful and more whole. This first step towards integration is essential. It is the process of self-awareness and laying the foundation for transformation. Meditation is a powerful tool to help you activate and balance the internal energies represented by Baphomet. Begin by finding a quiet space where you will not be disturbed. Sit comfortably with your spine straight and close your eyes. Now bring your awareness to your breath and notice how it flows naturally in and out. As you deepen your focus, begin to visualize the two serpents of the caduceus, one swirling up your spine from the left and the other from the right. See these serpents as energy currents that move through your body, balancing each other out as they rise to meet at the crown of your head. As they meet, visualize a white light. This is your Kundalini energy, and it begins to descend down through the center of your body, energizing all of your chakras. Now, bring your attention to the different dualities that you are working to integrate, the masculine and feminine, the light and the dark, the good and the evil. As you breathe, begin to feel these dualities inside of you, not as conflicting forces, but as different aspects of a unified whole. And as you continue to meditate on these dualities, feel them beginning to balance, harmonize, and integrate. Spend at least 20 minutes in this meditative state, and as you begin to open your eyes, know that you are beginning a process of integration, and like all alchemical transformations, it is not a single event, but a continuous cycle of refinement. This meditation is just one step on the path towards self-mastery, but it provides a concrete practice to help you begin integrating Baphomet's principles into your being. Visualization is another powerful tool that allows you to work directly with the symbolism of Baphomet. By holding specific images in your mind, you can begin to create shifts in your internal energy and perception. As you sit comfortably, take a few deep breaths and bring your focus inward. Begin by visualizing the caduceus. See the two snakes spiraling around the staff, and as you focus, feel this symbol bringing harmony into your body. Focus on your health and let the healing energy of the caduceus move through you, strengthening your physical and energetic bodies. Now visualize the torch, and as you focus, let this flame ignite within you. Feel a new sense of inspiration, illuminating your path and filling you with motivation. Let this light guide you and clear away any doubts that may be present. Now visualize the pentagram, and as you focus, feel this symbol providing you with protection. Let this pentagram become a shield, surrounding your aura, keeping negative energies away. This active visualization will alter not only your internal experience, but also your perception of the external world. The symbolic power of Baphomet will begin to permeate every aspect of your existence, becoming a tool for growth, healing, and transformation. Just as the alchemist works with specific tools in their laboratory, you now have the tools to begin working with the symbols of Baphomet. These visualizations are not just exercises of the imagination, they are powerful tools for transforming your perception of reality, and this process is essential for self-mastery. Remember, the true purpose of understanding esoteric principles is not simply to amass theoretical knowledge, but rather to integrate that understanding into your daily life in order to create tangible shifts in your experience. Spiritual understanding is not just an intellectual pursuit. It is a path of action, practice, and continual refinement. The concepts that we have explored today are not merely meant to be contemplated, they are meant to be lived. The practice of inner reflection, the meditation on duality, and the visualization of symbols are all tools designed to empower you to take control of your own internal experience, and by extension, your external reality. These practices are not quick fixes or one-time events. They are meant to be woven into the fabric of your daily existence, a consistent reminder that true transformation happens not in a single act, but in a series of small, intentional steps. You are now beginning to understand the real nature of Baphomet, and you are now capable of using these principles to shape your life. The path of self-mastery requires action, discipline, and a commitment to your own personal growth, and this path is not to be walked alone. The knowledge you have gained today is meant to empower you to become the conscious creators of your own reality and to move from a state of passivity to one of active participation in your own life. The journey of self-mastery begins now. The true story of Baphomet, now revealed, is not that of a demonic entity, but rather a powerful symbol of internal balance and the integration of dualities, a concept that has been deliberately hidden from the masses for millennia. The goat's head, far from representing evil, symbolizes the untamed forces of nature and the grounding of spiritual energy into the physical realm, demonstrating the necessary union between the material and the spiritual. The caduceus, with its intertwining serpents, depicts the balance of masculine and feminine energies and the transmutation of lower forces into higher ones, representing the flow of energy within your own body. The torch, a beacon of enlightenment, represents the pursuit of knowledge and the courage to challenge dogma, encouraging you to step out of the darkness of ignorance. And the inverted pentagram, often misunderstood as a sign of evil, represents the descent of spirit into matter, a necessary process for the creation of reality. All of these symbols, when understood together, reveal a profound message. That true power lies in the integration of all aspects of your being, not in the suppression or denial of any part, and it is in this integration that the path to self-mastery resides. The image of Baphomet is not a depiction of a devil to be feared, but a map of consciousness to be mastered. This is not just a collection of random symbols, but a carefully constructed guide to your internal alchemy. The common, fear-based interpretation of Baphomet as a demonic figure was a deliberate distortion, crafted to suppress your spiritual power and maintain control through fear. As demonstrated through the historical example of the Knights Templar, those in positions of power have always manipulated symbols and beliefs to maintain their dominance, using misinformation to control the populace. The accusations of heresy, the forced confessions obtained through torture, and the spreading of propaganda were all calculated steps to demonize the Templars and the figure of Baphomet to seize power and wealth. This distortion was not accidental, but rather a carefully orchestrated campaign to keep you in a state of spiritual subservience, as it has done with countless other spiritual figures throughout history. The demonic interpretation of Baphomet was a lie designed to make you fear your own power, and by extension, the knowledge that can set you free. The image of Baphomet is not a call to worship evil, it's a call to reclaim your own inner authority. The difference between the demonic interpretation and the empowered interpretation of Baphomet is the difference between slavery and freedom, between fear and power, between ignorance and wisdom, and the difference lies entirely in your understanding of the symbols presented. You are not meant to be afraid, but to be empowered, and the understanding of this single symbol can be a catalyst for monumental change. The true understanding of Baphomet is not an external mystery, but a reflection of your own internal energies and dynamics. The symbol acts as a mirror, revealing your own internal landscape, the conflicting dualities, the hidden shadows, and the unacknowledged potential that lies within you. Baphomet is not something to be feared, but something to be integrated into your awareness. This journey is not about seeking an external savior, but about embracing your own capacity for self-mastery. The duality within the symbol mirrors the dualities within you, the masculine and feminine, the light and the dark, the good and the evil, and just as Baphomet integrates these opposing forces, so too must you integrate your own internal landscape. This is not a battle, but an alchemical process where all parts, even the most disowned, are transmuted into a higher form. It is understanding that your perceived limitations are your greatest sources of power. The symbols are not meant to be worshipped as an external god, but understood as the architecture of your own potential, and Baphomet's image, when viewed through the lens of esoteric knowledge, is not an idol, but a map. This is not about looking for answers outside of yourself, but about awakening to the power that resides within. Spiritual power lies in understanding and integrating the dualistic forces within yourself, moving beyond the illusion of separation and recognizing your own inherent potential for wholeness. The universe is not divided into opposing forces, but a unified field that consists of a spectrum of vibrations, and the same is true of you. The microcosm mirrors the macrocosm, and as you change your internal experience, you will see the external world respond accordingly. By understanding and integrating your own internal polarities, you contribute to the collective consciousness of humanity. The symbol of Baphomet is a guide, not just for personal transformation, but for the evolution of the collective consciousness, and your internal process has a real, measurable effect on the whole. Your personal path is not separate from the collective path, they are two aspects of the same journey. The individual choices you make and the internal work you perform send ripples through the entirety of the universe, and this is the real power of esoteric knowledge. It's the understanding that you are not separate, you are a vital part of the great unfolding. The integration of your dualities is the key to both personal and collective liberation, allowing you to move beyond the illusion of separation into a state of wholeness. The same mechanisms of fear-based control and manipulation that distorted the meaning of Baphomet have been used throughout history and continue to be used today. Figures like Lucifer, Lilith, and countless other archetypes have been demonized to maintain power and suppress spiritual growth. Each of these figures represents a part of the totality of your experience, and by demonizing them, they keep you from understanding the whole. The truth is, every spiritual tradition has figures that have been deliberately misinterpreted or suppressed to maintain control. These symbols and their interpretations are used to reinforce existing power structures. By creating fear and division, those in power keep the populace from questioning their authority. This is not an accident, but a calculated method of maintaining control. The demonization of Baphomet is just one example of a larger pattern that has been playing out for millennia. Recognizing this pattern is the key to breaking free from its influence. By understanding the tactics of manipulation, you become impervious to them. You are no longer a pawn, but an active agent of your own destiny. This pattern reveals that true liberation requires not just an intellectual understanding, but a conscious dismantling of the systems that keep you enslaved. And the first place this dismantling must occur is within you. The true meaning of Baphomet lies in its ability to reveal the deeper truths about the nature of reality and consciousness itself. The symbols are not arbitrary representations. They are keys to unlocking your hidden potential. Each layer of meaning that we have explored, from the goat head to the caduceus, the torch, and the pentagram, reveals a new understanding of your place in the universe. These symbols are not just representations, they are maps of consciousness, guides for inner exploration, and practical tools for transformation, each adding to a larger understanding. The deeper you go, the more profound the symbolism becomes. These symbols are not just abstract ideas, they are living energies that have the power to transform you. This same layered approach can be applied to any symbol, and as you begin to see in more depth, you will begin to peel back the layers of your reality and find that the world is far more complex and interconnected than you ever thought possible. Understanding the symbolic nature of reality is to step into a world of limitless potential, and the more you learn, the more you will realize the depth of esoteric knowledge is bottomless, and you are only just beginning. The implications of this knowledge for personal freedom and collective evolution are profound. By understanding the true nature of Baphomet, you become empowered to break free from limiting beliefs and create a more enlightened reality. The demonization of Baphomet was designed to make you fear your own power. The truth, however, is that your power is not something that can be taken away. The knowledge that you now possess has the capacity to transform you and, by extension, the world around you. Individual transformation is the key to collective change. Every person who awakens to their own potential contributes to a global shift in consciousness. The true power of this knowledge is not in understanding the symbol itself, but in the active embodiment of its principles. This is not just about a symbol, it's about a new way of being, and it's about reclaiming the power that has always been yours. Your journey is a catalyst for the transformation of the entire world, and the moment that enough people awaken to this truth, the world will change forever. It is up to you to activate that change. Understanding the symbolism of Baphomet can lead to profound shifts in your consciousness, your self-perception, and the way that you experience reality, and it begins with your internal work. This is not just information, it's an invitation to engage in a direct experience of the power that resides within you. You have been taught to see Baphomet as a figure of evil, and yet you have discovered that it is actually a key to self-mastery. This transformation of understanding is just one of many, and as you move forward on this path, you will begin to see a shift in every aspect of your life. The world around you will begin to reflect the internal changes that you are making. This knowledge is not merely theoretical, it is a practical tool for transforming your existence, and it will transform the world that you perceive. The hidden knowledge that we have explored today has a direct and transformative effect on the quality of your life, and this understanding is not just an abstract ideal, it's a powerful force for change that is ready to be unleashed. You have the keys to your own liberation. The journey of this video, from the initial mystery to the final practical application, has been carefully crafted to guide you to a new understanding of Baphomet's true meaning. We began by deconstructing the common misconceptions, revealing the historical context of its demonization, and then we explored the esoteric symbolism, understanding the layers of meaning that are embedded in each component. We then shifted to the dualistic nature of the universe, and Baphomet as an emblem of this duality. And finally, we have explored a series of practical exercises to apply these principles to your daily life. Each step has been essential to understanding Baphomet as a symbol of self-mastery. You now possess the knowledge to move forward on this path. You have all of the necessary information to engage with the symbol of Baphomet in a way that was previously unavailable to you. Every section has built upon the last, and now you are equipped with the tools to create real change in your life and the world around you. These are not separate topics, but parts of one unified whole. To fully realize the power of Baphomet's symbolism, begin by integrating the principles into your daily practice. Start by finding a quiet space and take a few deep breaths, bringing your awareness to the present moment. Begin by visualizing the caduceus and feel its energy balancing all opposing forces within you. Then, visualize the torch, igniting your inner fire, filling you with inspiration and courage. And finally, visualize the pentagram, surrounding you with protection. Now take some time to connect with your inner dualities and do not reject any part, and instead, choose to embrace them all. As you move through your day, remember these principles and apply them to any situations that arise, letting this knowledge transform your experience. This is not a one-time event, but a continuous cycle of refinement. The practice of integration is an ongoing process, and you now have the tools to perform your own alchemical transformation. This is an invitation to actively engage with the symbols of Baphomet on a daily basis. Let it be a guiding principle in your life. It is the embodiment of these principles that brings true change. Is Baphomet a symbol of evil or a tool for empowerment? The answer, as you now understand, is that Baphomet is an archetype of self-mastery, a potent reminder of the internal power available to each individual. And like all esoteric symbols, it is neither good nor evil. It is a reflection of your own inner potential. The demonic image of Baphomet is a distortion of the truth, designed to keep you in a state of fear and subservience, while its true symbolism reveals a path to personal liberation, inner transformation, and a deeper understanding of the nature of reality. Baphomet is not a devil to be feared, but a mirror reflecting your own power, and this understanding can change everything. The question has been answered. You now possess a clear understanding of the true meaning of Baphomet, and it is up to you to make use of this understanding and take back your power. The truth has been revealed, and the path is clear. The power to transform your reality lies within you through intentional action and the integration of your internal dualities. You are not a victim of circumstance, but the conscious creator of your own experience, and this understanding is the first step towards creating a new reality. By understanding and integrating the dualities within you, you become a force for transformation, and when enough individuals choose to awaken to their own power, the world itself will begin to change. This is not a passive act. It requires consistent work and discipline, and the courage to embrace the unknown, and this is the real alchemy of Baphomet. This is not a concept, it's a reality, and this understanding will transform how you see yourself, your reality, and the world that you inhabit. You are not just an observer of reality, but an active participant in its creation. By choosing to integrate, you choose to embody your full potential, and the true path to self-mastery is finally revealed. What other hidden truths are waiting to be uncovered, and what other symbols have been distorted for the sake of control? What other aspects of reality are still hidden from us, and what potential lies dormant within your own being, waiting to be activated? These questions open up new territories of exploration into the nature of consciousness, the power of esoteric knowledge, and the vastness of human potential. The exploration of Baphomet is not the end of the journey, it's the beginning, and the path ahead is ripe with opportunities for discovery. You are now equipped to go forth and continue the exploration of the unseen. This is just the beginning of a much larger journey. The unveiling of Baphomet is just a single step on a much longer path. The questions will continue, and the more you learn, the more questions you will have. The understanding of Baphomet is a starting point for a lifelong journey of self-discovery and spiritual evolution. And this journey will take you into the deepest parts of yourself and challenge everything you thought you knew. The esoteric traditions are vast, and the knowledge available is limitless, and this is but one piece of a much larger puzzle, and you are only just beginning to see the true scope of its potential. There are countless more symbols waiting to be deciphered and more secrets to be revealed, and Baphomet was merely the first step into this greater world of hidden wisdom. You have barely scratched the surface. This knowledge is not meant to be kept to yourself. It is meant to be shared, explored, and integrated into the world, and this is just the tip of the iceberg. The true journey of self-discovery is about to begin. Share your insights, questions, and experiences about Baphomet in the comments below, and let us continue this conversation together. What other symbols are you curious about? What other topics do you want to explore in future videos? Your input is valuable, and it will help shape our future content, and the best way to learn is in community with others. This is a journey that is best taken together, and by sharing your experience, we create a collaborative space for learning and growth. Engage with the comments section and share what you have learned and help others on their own journeys. Your contributions will help create a community of like-minded individuals and help build momentum towards greater understanding. This is the next step of our journey together. The exploration of Baphomet was but a single step into the greater world of esoteric wisdom, and we are excited to continue this journey together. In future videos, we will explore similar topics, including the Tree of Life, alchemy, sacred geometry, and much more. These concepts build upon the foundations that we have laid today, and the journey is only just beginning. We will continue to explore the hidden knowledge that has been deliberately suppressed and empower you to reclaim your personal power. This is not just about information, it is about transforming your reality, and we invite you to join us on the journey. Let the true story of Baphomet and the power that it holds be the catalyst for a new beginning in your own life and the life of the world. Thank you for watching.